Well, hello, I'm Lauren, and I haven't introduced myself yet because I really didn't think anyone would be watching my videos. However, the other day I was exposed, um, taken back in a way, and even activated, not because of what someone said to me, but more that yes, I'm posting these videos online, and yes, there is the real potential that people are going to watch them. Um, and it was a really beautiful comment, and it really had me reflect on what I shared, and it was beautiful. And I think that's one of the things that I'm going to carry with me as I share. And that's also one of the things I wanted to speak into. The thoughts and opinions and beliefs and things that I share are just a moment in time, a moment on my timeline, and a moment that I am sharing. They're not concrete. They're not for everybody to take on board. They're just my musings, my experiences, my thoughts and feelings, and my shares. You're welcome to your own opinion and your own thoughts and feelings and beliefs. And so, with that being said, I think it's really beautiful to be able to share and then have other people make constructive comments and offer other opinions and perspectives, because I do believe that's how I learn and grow. And a lot of us, it's nice to receive a different lens, because I can only see through the current lens that I have. And as my lens changes over time, it's not going to be the same as your lens at any time, for that matter. So, really grateful to be able to share, and really grateful to have comments and other people sharing their experience or their opinion or their reflections, because I will, when I get time, read through comments if I get them, some of them, and I won't necessarily be able to respond. I'm a full-time mum, and that is my priority, as well as starting to do a few other creative projects. But the reason I first started sharing online and creating these videos was really just to come out of a period of hibernation, of growth, of transition, of many, many deaths, and learn to find my voice again and speak into what felt real or what was on top, or what was alive for me in the moments. And I feel like there's been so much fear of exile or getting it wrong or imperfection, or even the fear that, well, in a week's time I might feel differently, or um, even just saying something wrong or offending someone by accident. All of those kind of fears and thoughts that kind of hold us back from really just owning ourselves, having that sense of self, that strong sense of self, and that maturity to share, but also know that sometimes we're going to be wrong. And not even wrong, sometimes it's going to be a perspective that, a short time later doesn't feel right anymore, or doesn't feel good, or someone opened our eyes to something. So yeah, it's an interesting space to be, but I'm very grateful to be able to start speaking into things again, and Don't take anything I say too seriously. I think it's something I've really had to overcome is that I'm never going to be perfect. Not that I was thinking I would ever be perfect, but for some reason it really restricted me from being able to share the now, because I was thinking, well, when I'm healed or when I feel more like that, then what I have to say will be more relevant or more important or offer something to someone. But the reality is I have to be okay with the now, the being that I am now. And I have to be able to not I have to be able to, I am willing to accept now that growing in front of or growing online is a natural evolution. I'm not going to show up one day and just be a master of my humanity. That's probably going to take my whole lifetime. But I'm not going to wait until I'm 80 to start posting things. And who knows, even then, who knows? But yeah, so I have to be willing to stuff it up, or not even stuff it up, to just walk my path, but walk my path with confidence, knowing that I'm sharing a journey. I'm sharing my homecoming, my return to my soul self, my return to my wild woman, my return to my intuition and my connection to God's source. That is my journey. And it's going to look different every day. And how I get there, well, who knows? It's going to be what it is. And I'm going to grow in front of friends and family and people that I decide to share my truth with. And so as long as I'm staying in my vulnerability and sharing myself, I can learn to accept my imperfection as part of my human nature. And in fact, love that. Because there were so many seeds planted in all of us when we were young that perfection was what we had to be. And if it wasn't perfection, then it's not good enough. But actually, what is perfection? How would we ever get there? So being imperfectly perfect or perfectly imperfect. Yes. And so, hello, I'm Lauren and welcome to my shares. Yes, that's about all I have to say.